Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer and this is my channel. So today is Wednesday, June the 26th, 2019, and today is Weight Loss Wednesday, Weigh-In Wednesday, whichever you want to call it. I'm only going to be doing one video a week on weight loss, and that is of course on Wednesdays. I don't think that there is enough to talk about during the rest of the week on weight loss. There may be times that I will upload an additional video talking about something I'm eating or something I'm doing with my OA, my Overeaters Anonymous, as far as my 12-step program, that kind of weight loss related. But as far as talking about my actual weight and how that is, that will be on Wednesdays, because I don't see the need to weigh in 2 or 3 times a week, because that's a little obsessive, because not a lot will change in a week, in a couple days. So I just decided that once a week to weigh in is plenty. So that will be on Wednesdays, and I don't know how many other videos I'll make during the week from now on. Maybe someday I'll get back to everyday uploads, I don't know. But for the foreseeable future, while I'm working on myself and while I am focused on me, it will be at least one, maybe more if I feel like it. If not, I'll see you guys on Wednesdays. So before I get started on the actual weigh-in part of my video, and then talking about my week, how my week went, I want to talk about 2 things. First and foremost, I had somebody comment and they brought up the fact that I never apologized to my viewers last week in my video when I was honest with you guys about being less than truthful, lying, omitting, covering up, whatever word you want to call it, about my binges and about gaining so much weight back. I did not mean to not apologize, and they were correct. I did not, and I didn't not apologize because I wanted to. I didn't even realize that I didn't. That video was an extremely hard video for me to make. Some people might not think so, and it wasn't hard because of the lie itself. It was hard because binging and eating such large quantities of food is very shameful for me, and I am ashamed of it. I avoid eating in public at all costs. And if I do eat in public, it's a very small amount, and nobody has ever seen me binge. And that is because it's shameful. And hiding that fact was not about misleading my viewers. I know that that's what I did, and I understand why people were upset and not happy with me. I completely understand that, and I deserved whatever emotion they expressed towards me. I'm 100% okay with that because it's what I deserved. But the hiding it was because of the shame that I felt, and not necessarily what I think that you guys would have thought. Because I know that there are some wonderful people out there that are so supportive of me, binging or not, and I truly appreciate you all. But it was how I felt and the shame that I felt. Addiction is, at the root, the same, and what the addiction is just expresses itself differently. Sometimes it's easier for an alcoholic or a drug addict to hide the fact that they're taking drugs or drinking. I know that when it gets so bad, of course you know someone's drinking or taking drugs, but it's easier to hide those things because you can't see it. For people who are addicted to food, especially a compulsive overeater or a binge addict, it's very hard for us to hide it because of the weight. You can see the symptoms of what we're doing. Where alcoholism and drug addiction, those types of addictions, they're more easily covered up. So I knew in reality, I knew that it was obvious I wasn't losing any weight. But in my mind, it was the denial, and it was more about hiding the shame that I felt from myself rather than trying to hurt anybody else. And I know in the end that I did. And not apologizing was not something that I didn't do because I didn't feel that I needed to apologize. I definitely feel that I need to apologize. And I am very sorry that I lied to you all. There's no justifying it. And when I explain the reasons why, because of the food addiction, I'm not using that as an excuse because there is no excuse, but that is the reason why. That is the reason, not the excuse. And I am very sorry. Like I said, I did not mean to not say that I'm not sorry, that I am sorry, rather. It was a very hard video to make, and I was very nervous to make it because I knew what would happen. I knew the fallout from it. But like I said, I deserved anything that I got. The people that were upset, I completely understand. But as part of healing and moving forward, I needed to be honest. I talked to my OA sponsor about it. I talked to my therapist about it. And they were both in agreement that it was something that I needed to do in order to forgive myself, for one, and to move forward with my recovery, to move forward with weight loss, and just to clear my conscience of what I've done. So I just want everyone to know that I am sorry. I did not apologize because I didn't think I needed to. It was very hard to do. And I didn't even realize that I didn't. Even when I watched the video back, I didn't pick up on that I didn't until somebody pointed it out. So I appreciate the person who did point it out. I thank you for pointing it out to me, and I am very appreciative of that. All right, let me do a recap on how my week went. I'm still seeing my therapist twice a week, and we talked about different things, of course. We talk about different things all the time. One of the things that my therapist and I talked about was how over the course of my eating disorder career, I guess you want to call it, you set different benchmarks for yourself. Like there was a time when I was a teenager, before I got extremely heavy, I can remember being around 250 pounds. And I remember just not going over 250 pounds. That was like my benchmark, to never get past that and I'd be okay. But then, of course, in high school, I was around 300 pounds. So then that time came, and then that benchmark went to just so I was not over 350 pounds. I would definitely never go over 350 pounds. And then the time came when I was over 350 pounds. And it seemed like you just keep pressing the benchmark further and further. And somehow I had come to justify those benchmarks, like it was okay as long as I didn't pass this certain weight. And then I can remember even as far as a couple months ago, as long as I didn't get to 600 pounds again. I mean, I have been over 600 pounds in my life, but as long as I didn't get back to that 600 pounds, when I saw the scale start creeping up to 571, that's when I got scared again because I was getting even closer to 600. But in my mind, I justified it. As long as I was under that 600 pounds, I was safe. And I told myself I was safe, even though that is dangerous. I mean, I'm at a dangerous weight. I understand that. But in my mind, I justified it as not going over those benchmarks. And how over the course of my eating career, as my eating disorder kept getting worse and worse, that I kept pushing that hard limit. I kept pushing it. And where does it ever stop? If you don't stop it somewhere, where does it stop? And I have come to realize that it was the denial of how bad my eating disorder was and how bad my life had become, and the insanity of the eating and it was just crazy. So that was one of the things we talked about, how those benchmarks just increase as your disease gets worse. And sometimes you don't even realize it. So it's just crazy that something could get a hold of you like that, an addiction can, and you don't even realize it. And sometimes you don't even care, or you don't even want to see it. That's why the deception and the lying comes in at, it's not to deceive other people, it's to deceive yourself, because you don't want to look at the reality of the way you are or the way your life is going. So that's one of the things we talked about this week. Water break. So all in all, my week has went pretty well. I'm very proud to say that I've been binge-free or abstinent now for 16 days. And when I say binge, I don't mean just having a bad meal, like deciding to have fast food or a slice of pizza. When I say I binge, my typical, like when I had been binging on McDonald's, like the days when I had showed what I was eating, I would definitely eat all that food that I showed. And then I would also order from McDonald's, because whatever triggered me, whatever, I can't think of anything right now, but whatever it was that triggered me in that moment, I would decide that that's something that I had to have. And there was like a deep scratch in my brain, and until I actually got it, I was so preoccupied that I could not think of anything else. And my typical McDonald's binge, and it wasn't just a choice to have a burger or a fry, it was 2 triple cheeseburgers, 2 sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, a large fry, and a large Coke. Sometimes a sundae in there. And I would eat it over a course of probably about an hour. I would eat that. And so it's not hard to see. I don't even know how many calories that would be. I don't probably even want to know how many calories that would be. So it's not difficult to see why I gained so much weight so quickly, because those binges were quite frequent. And it was usually the same thing. Sometimes I would get chicken strips instead of a burger, but it was always a large quantity of food. So there's no confusing just having a bad meal. It was definitely binging on those things. So like I said, I've been binge-free for 16 days. I am dealing with a couple emotional things in my life right now, relationship-wise with other people, and they're going through some hard things. We'll just leave it at that. There's couple different people, 2 different people that are having a difficult time, and it is not easy for me to deal with, because I love them very much, and seeing them struggle with their health and their well-being is very difficult for me, and I get scared, and my first impulse is to turn to food. But I'm very proud to say that that has not been the case. And I am, like I said, I have been seeking comfort in my higher power, in my spiritual path. And I got confirmation, awesome confirmation last Sunday, that I was definitely in the will of God and where I needed to be. And relying on Him has been helping me so much with not compulsively eating and not binging. On Monday night, I had a very hard day emotionally, and the only thing I kept thinking about was binging. I wanted something to eat, I wanted a large quantity of food, and I wanted to eat it. And I kept praying and asking God to please take it away from me. I used the tools that I know to use to distract myself, and eventually, and not very long, those feelings left me, and I was again calm, and I am finding a lot of comfort in that, and it is working. Like that phrase in the 12-step program that says, it works if you work it, so work it. It's definitely the truth. So as long as you do the steps that they tell you to, it does work. For me, for a lot of people it does. So I've been taking a lot of comfort in that. And in different recoveries, abstinence is defined different ways. Like for alcoholics, abstinence is not drinking alcohol. In food addiction, it's a little bit different because I have to eat. It's not like I can just abstain from all food. So my definition of abstinence right now is no binging and no eating after 9 p.m. So I'm proud to say that that for me has been my 16 days of abstinence. They're vacuuming the hallway, so you have to excuse the vacuum noise if you can hear that. I'm not sure how well you can hear that, but that's what's happening. So this week I have been working on getting out of my apartment more and being around, well, it's not just this week, the past couple of weeks. I have been working on getting out of my apartment more and doing more social things with people and not being so isolated, because isolation is one of the things that helps to feed my addiction and feed my compulsive thoughts. So every evening it's been a while now, every evening I play cards, afternoon, evening, I play cards with some friends. And I've been having a great time. We laugh, and it's so fun that I don't want to stop because I'm enjoying being with them. I'm enjoying the game. I love playing cards. And I took a little clip. Tonight we're actually going to be doing a slow motion video. I had asked them if it was okay. I didn't film anybody's face because I don't want to put someone's face on the internet, because I choose to put myself out there, but I'm not going to put those people out there. Even if they say it's okay, I don't want to do that to anybody, because this is my life and I don't want to draw them into it. So, but I did ask them if it was okay if I just videoed our card game, and I did it in time lapse. So I'm going to insert that here. So that was 23 seconds it took to play one card game. We play 4 or 5 games every night, and it's fun to see how fast everything went. Like I said, tonight we're going to do slow motion and see how it looks videoing a game in slow motion. But I've been really enjoying that every evening. So one of the things that I have kind of had to adjust is I leave to go play cards around 3:30, or I at least start getting ready at 3:30, and I don't get home until between 8 and 8:30. So that makes it a little difficult. It's a little too early to eat dinner, and then if I start preparing dinner at 8 or 8:30 in the evening, it's a little late by the time I start eating. So I've been prepping my meal dinners. This week I've prepped taco salad. I posted on Instagram pictures. I made homemade salsa for my taco salad, of course without the chips. I just used the lettuce, the ground turkey flavored with the taco seasoning, and some sour cream, cheese, the salsa, of course. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. And then sometimes I have like last night I had a cucumber on the side with some of the Walden Farms calorie-free, carb-free dressing to dip it in, and that's what I prepped for this week. Now that will last me until around Thursday, I think. And then Thursday I got a chuck roast, I think it is, to put in my crock pot to make the keto-friendly what's it called? Mississippi roast, I think it's called, where you put it in with a packet of ranch, a packet of au jus, banana peppers, and then the chuck roast, and then you just let it cook and then you shred it up. So I'm going to be having that, and then when I come home I can just throw in the microwave a bag of the steamed broccoli or cauliflower and have that with it. So that will be from the end of the week into next week. Those will be my two meals. That's what I've meal prepped for this week and into next week. So now I'll be looking for some other kind of recipe that I can prep for the next week. I like to try to figure out a week in advance so I know what I'm doing. So when it comes time to cook, I usually do that on either Tuesdays or Saturdays, because those are the 2 days of the week that we don't play cards, because a couple of the people have other commitments on those days. So on those days, those are the days I like to prep my meals, because I'll be here and I don't have to worry about leaving to go anywhere. So that's what I've been doing. I've enjoyed that. Oh, excuse me. So that's what I've been doing, and that has brought me a lot of joy and a lot of peace, and it's been really good for me. We laugh a lot, we have a lot of fun, and it was exactly what I needed in my life. That was, and so that is my enjoyable thing for the week. Well, it's been a couple weeks, like I said, but that's the enjoyable part of my week. I bought a rug scrubber because I have a couple stains on my floor. So the shampoo stuff for the rug scrubber is coming today. So tomorrow I'm going to be scrubbing my rugs. I'm going to vacuum today really well, and then tomorrow I'm going to scrub my rugs. Or this afternoon, depends on what time the shampoo stuff gets here. If it's the UPS usually comes later in the day, so I probably won't have enough time to do that before I leave to play cards. But tomorrow morning I'm going to be scrubbing my floors because there's a couple of stains. They're not pet stains, they're stains from spilling stuff or whatever. Can't even remember what they're from now. And I'm tired of looking at the stains, so I want to clean those up and get those all in order, because I am going to be getting living room furniture soon, so I want the carpet to be clean before I put anything on top of it. Alright, so the weight loss portion of the video. So last week I was at 560.8, and this week I'll insert a clip here. Alright, it's Wednesday, June 26th, 2019. I know it's dark, but it's like 5 a.m. and I just want to get this over with.
It's ready. £557.8.
So this week I am at 557.8. That is a 3 pound exactly loss for the week. I am a little disappointed in that. I had hoped for a bigger number, maybe a double-digit number, but it is what it is. I know that I have been on track. I have been eating low carb and fasting. So I know that there are some weeks where the weight loss isn't going to be as much as others. Some weeks it will be less than others. So I have to just hang in there and not get discouraged, because this is where I get discouraged very easily and I want to give up because it's not what I expect. So I have to not expect anything. I just have to do what I'm supposed to do. This is what I've talked to my therapist about and my sponsor about. I need to do what I'm supposed to be doing, eat what I'm supposed to be eating, don't eat what I'm not supposed to be eating, and my weight will eventually come off, because it always has. That's just the way it works. And I know that as long as I'm doing what I should, it will happen. So I'm okay with 3 pounds. It's better than a gain. It's better than staying the same. I think that's a good amount. I'm trying to tell myself I think it's a good amount. I do think it's a good amount. 3 pounds is good. I have been weighing myself every single day. Even though I'm not showing you guys me weighing every single day, I don't think there's a need to make a video every day to show my weight. There were a couple days that I did bounce up to like 562, and then the lowest I saw was 558, and then this morning was 557.8. So this was the lowest for the week. Like I said, the highest was 562.3, I think it was. I don't know why it fluctuates like that. It gets frustrating, and I have noticed I'm supposed to only weigh myself. Me and my OA sponsor and my therapist has discussed this. I'm only supposed to weigh myself in the mornings because you're heavier in the evening than you are in the morning. But I have been weighing myself in the evening a couple of times, not every evening. But I have noticed that it is true that you do gain a couple pounds. At least I do during the day. And when I weigh myself in the evening, I'll be up a couple, like either between 1 and 2 pounds. And then the next morning, I'll be back down. So I can definitely tell that it's true that you do retain either water or whatever kind, whatever it is that you gain weight during the day, or you're heavier at night than you are in the mornings. I don't know why, but you are. So that is it for my weight loss video for this week. Like I said, my weight loss videos will be every Wednesday. I don't know exactly what else I'll be sharing during the week. Maybe nothing, maybe a couple videos. I don't really know. Whenever you see a video, you'll see it. And as far as what it'll be about, you'll be able to tell by the title. And if it's not something you want to watch, that's completely fine. I understand. I'm going to upload whatever I feel like uploading, whatever I enjoy uploading. I had gotten caught up in wanting views, like I explained last week. Or maybe it was the week before that. It started becoming all about the views, and it was becoming an obsessive thing. So I'm going back to just doing what brings me joy, and if that's just one video a week, I am committed to one video a week, which is my weight loss videos. And if I don't have anything else to share, and I am not going to feel that I have to share anything or anything specific. If I want to make a video about my spirituality, I'll make a video about that. If I want to make a video about my cats, like I made the cat box the other day, I'll make that. I'm going to do what I enjoy and what brings me happiness, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you don't, I totally understand, but in the end, this is my channel about me, and I have to do what makes me happy and what makes me feel good. So I hope you guys will enjoy whatever it is that I post, whatever I decide. And so, yep, that's it for me for today. I will see you guys again. And if I don't see you before the weekend, I hope you guys have a good weekend. And that's it. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye, everyone.